Many Rockford parents say navigating the school system often stirs more questions than it does provide answers. Thursday, a free legal training brought solutions right to their front door. WIFR reporter Miriam Niesmeyer talks with leaders about legal resources anyone can get at the tip of their fingers.
And just helping the community be empowered and know how to utilize the Illinois legal aid.
The City of Rockford's Violence Prevention Coordinating Council teamed up with Illinois Legal Aid to give families tools to advocate for their children in school.
A lot of times as parents, we know what we want to do, but we may not know exactly how to do that and how to effectively execute the process so that it benefits not only us, but our children as well.
The Illinois Legal Aid Online ELEO directs families on how to request special education plans, apply for fee waivers, free lunch, and even how to handle school enrollment questions. ELEO also offers resources for people who have questions on family and safety, health and benefits, immigration, and housing.
Not too many people have the resources to hire an attorney. Attorneys are very, very expensive, very few. Our communities are not able to access those resources.
Community partners say they walked away with new tools to help families they work with.
I had lots of questions about the IEP and the 504, so just knowing that there is a resource through the Illinois website, I am so stoked about that. I had no idea that that information was even available.
Organizers say helping parents understand their rights can reduce conflicts, strengthen families, and keep students safe in school.
Has increased their ability to be able to connect with other resources and know how to address concerns and go through different processes.
In Rockford, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
The next free legal training is September 25th at Collier Gardens Apartments. And if you missed today's session, you can visit IllinoisLegalAid.org for step-by-step guides on school rights, housing, family law, and more.